Buenos días chicos, espero que estén teniendo una semana fabulosa y una semana productiva. En esta nueva sección del capítulo 5 hablaremos sobre los adjetivos y pronombres demostrativos. Y esta sección del capítulo 5 se puede encontrar en la página 170 de su libro. Bueno, antes que todo, as the name implies, Spanish demonstrative adjectives demonstrate a quality about the noun they modify. In this case, the quality is the location in respect to the speaker or the listener. Spanish demonstrative adjectives can be translated as this, that, these, or those. Spanish has three sets of demonstrative adjectives, each of which has four different forms that vary by gender and number. So let's talk about el número uno. Este. Este is used to describe a noun that is close to the speaker and the listener. It is normally used to talk about something within reach or within reaching distance of the speaker. Now here are the four forms este can take in Spanish. Masculine singular, este, which means these. Feminine singular, esta, which means these. Masculine plural, which means estos, which means these. And feminine plural, estas, which means these. Now, let's check out this example with different forms of este. Example number one, este restaurante es mi favorito. This restaurant is my favorite. Esta blusa es muy bonita. This blouse is very pretty. Estos burritos son fantásticos. These burritos are fantastic. And estas paletas son ricas. These popsicles are delicious. Now, ahora vamos a ver el número dos. Let's look at number two, ese. Ese is used to point out nouns that are further from the speaker and not easily within reach. The noun may be close to the listener but not to the speaker. Now, here are the four forms ese can take in Spanish. Ese, which is masculine singular and it means that. The feminine singular is esa and it means that. Masculine plural is esos, which means those. And feminine plural is esas, which means those. Now, check out this example with different forms of ese. Quiero ese helado blanco. I want that white ice cream. Tráeme esa camisa, por favor. Bring me that shirt, please. Esos monos son cómicos. Those monkeys are funny. And last one, esas flores son mis favoritas. Those flowers are my favorite. Y por último, vamos a hablar sobre el adjetivo número 3, which is aquel. Aquel is used to talk about nouns that are far away from both the speaker and the listener. Here are the four forms aquel can take in Spanish. Masculine singular, aquel, which means that over there. Feminine singular, aquella, which means that over there. Masculine plural, aquellos, which means those over there. And feminine plural, aquellas, which means those over there. Now, check out these examples with different form of aquel. Example number one, aquel león es peligroso. That lion over there is dangerous. Aquella chica es muy guapa. That girl over there is really pretty. Aquellos edificios son los más viejos de la ciudad. Those buildings over there are the oldest in the city. And last one, aquellas nubes se ven rojas. Those clouds over there look red. Now, demonstrated adjective placements. Now, let's talk about the demonstrated adjective placement. Demonstrative adjectives are typically placed immediately before the nouns they modify. Now, let's look at these examples. Estos libros y esos periódicos son buenos. these books and those magazines are good. Esta casa, aquel y aquel apartamento son lindos. This house and that apartment over there are nice. Now let's talk about demonstrative pronouns. The word demonstrative comes from the verb to demonstrate, and that is exactly what a Spanish demonstrative pronoun, pronombres demostrativos, do. It demonstrates or identifies the noun it refers to. Imagine you had two pasteles, cakes, in front of you, and someone asks you which one you wanted. If you were feeling particularly succinct, you could simply respond with este, this one, or ese, that one. Este and ese are both demonstrative pronouns, while they look very similar to the demonstrative adjective. Demonstrative pronouns replace rather than describe a noun. Now, in the past, demonstrative pronouns were always written with a tilde, a written accent, to differentiate them from the demonstrative adjectives. However, la Real Academia Española, the institution responsible for regulating the Spanish language, has ruled that the tildes are no longer necessary. Well, thanks for making life easier, Real Academia Española. Well, now, Spanish has three types of demonstrative pronouns, and they almost match the nouns and the nouns they replace in gender and in numbers. So let's talk about numero uno, este. Este is used to replace a noun close to the speaker. Below you will find the four forms this pronoun can take, as well as some example of each. Okay, so masculine and singular, you have este, which means this one, this or this one. You have feminine singular, which is esta, this or this one, and then you have the plural ones, which is estos, which mean this or these ones, and estas, which is feminine, this or these ones. So now let's talk about some example. Mi coche es más rápido que este. My car is faster than this one. Yo quiero esta aquí. I want this one here. Esto se me hacen más bonitos. I think these are prettier. Siéntese en estas aquí. Sit in this here. Now let's talk about el número dos. Ese. Bueno, ese is used to replace a noun that is not very close to the speaker, though it may be close to whoever the speaker is talking to. Now let's check out the different form ese can take in Spanish. Now look at the on the right side of the screen. Let's look at the chart here. So we have masculine singular, which is ese, which means that and that one. And we also have feminine singular, which is esa, which means that or that one. And the plural form of this, you have esos, which is masculine, which means those or those ones. And you also have esas, which is the feminine plural, which means those or those ones as well. Now let's talk about some example. Okay? Ya tienes uno, ese es para tu hermano. You already have one. That one is for your brother. ¿Te gusta esa? Do you like that one? Or no me agradan esos. I don't like those. Esas son las más bonitas. Those are the most beautiful. Now let's talk about el número tres. Aquel. Aquel is used to replace a noun far from both the speaker and the listener. Below you will find the four forms this pronoun can take in Spanish. For example, singular, masculine, feminine. As masculine you have aquel, which means that or that one. Feminine you have aquella, which means that or that one. And plural form for masculine you have aquellos, which means those or those ones. And for the feminine plural you have aquellas, which means those or those ones. Now let's talk about some example with this demonstrative pronoun aquel. Example number 1, aquel es el Gran Cañón. That is the Grand Canyon, sorry. Aquella es peligrosa. That one over there is dangerous. Aquellos son los jefes. Those over there are the bosses. And last one, ¿cómo se llaman aquellas? What are those called? Okay. Now, chicos, now that we have talked and learned about demonstrated adjectives and pronouns, let's do this activity. Vamos a practicar la actividad 531 para aclarar. Imagínate que estás en la librería de tu universidad comprando cosas para tus clases. Responde las preguntas de modo positivo o negativo usando los adjetivos demostrativos ese, esas, esos y esas. Luego repite tus respuestas a las preguntas usando los pronombres demostrativos. Modelo, un ejemplo. ¿Quieres este libro? Puedes decir sí, quiero ese libro o no, no quiero ese libro. O puedes también decir quiero este, ese o aquel libro. ¿Ok? Vamos para la pregunta número 1. ¿Quieres estos bolígrafos? Sí, quiero esos bolígrafos. Número 2. ¿Necesitas estas mochilas? No, no necesito esas mochilas. Número 3. ¿Quieres ver este cuaderno? Sí, quiero ver aquel cuaderno. Número 4. ¿Compras este libro de textos? No, no compro ese libro de texto. Número 5. ¿Buscas esta alfombra para tu cuarto? Sí, busco esa alfombra para mi cuarto. Y por último, número 6. ¿Estás aquí con estas personas? Sí, estoy aquí con esas personas. Bueno, chicos, así aquí ya concluye este video. Thank you so much for listening. Gracias por escuchar la estructura 3 del capítulo 5. If you guys have any questions or concern, please do not hesitate to contact your instructor. We are more than happy to help you. Okay? Así que si tienen alguna duda o pregunta, por favor, comuníquense. Así que hasta la próxima video. Okay? Hasta luego.